As the sun rises over the Pacific Ocean, a group of young people gathers on the shores of Ndeumba in Fiji to worship and reflect on God's power and the wonders of creation. After prayer and reflection, they walk along the beach to pick up rubbish left behind by beachgoers or brought in on the currents and the waves.
This is like greatly experienced in Fiji. We have increasing floods, rising temperature, and many other stuff that we've experienced. And we've seen that from the presentations through the week that we complain all this and that, but we've seen now that it's really us wasting it. So we want to, raise that in our communities about, how we need to properly cut down on that.
This is the Fijian class of the inaugural Pacific Ecological School, brought together by the Pacific Conference of Churches under a World Council of Churches initiative. In Fiji, the Solomon Islands, Tonga, Tuvalu and Vanuatu, young people gather online to learn about food security, public health, climate change, and the possibility of a war over an increasingly precious commodity.
There's so much talk about the fossil fuels running out and the wars over oil and the control over oil, but we never really talk about what happens when our water runs out. I think it's extremely important that we start to talk about this now rather than later when we start to fight about it.
Morning sessions are delivered online from Geneva, Switzerland, by experts based at the World Council of Churches headquarters. After group discussions in their national clusters, students rejoin the class and share their experiences or participate in question and answer sessions.
Okay, so I've chosen 4 out of all that you've seen.
Discussions generated from the class allow the students to think about how they might design learning experiences in their local churches.
Going to advocate on climate change, for people to be aware of climate change, that it's happening and it's real and it's affecting us, not going to be tomorrow, it's right now.
Going further than classroom learning, these young people have been equipped to implement practical projects in their parishes to encourage greater responsibility. Fijian students will cross boundaries and break new earth as the Anglican and Methodist EcoSchool participants conduct their first training session at a gathering of Roman Catholic youth.
Most people go to workshops and then after the workshops they just leave. We want to be doers, so to take action straight after the workshop instead of just living here and then not talking to each other again. And then
the first Pacific EcoSchool has borne its first fruit after just a week, and the journey towards a more responsible youth is truly underway. While regional travel may not be possible, the Pacific youth will remain linked not only by the sea which touches the shores of every nation, but by the modern-day equivalent, the internet, and its ocean of possibilities.